pouring this guy back into the shop. He needs a little more TLC. And then a good cleaning, and we're going to be selling it soon. Well, we definitely have a leak on this side. At first it wasn't so loud, it was just pretty quiet, but I guess the oil's gotten out of the passage now and it's just blowing by. So that's no bueno. Looks like I gotta pull this valve cover off again, at least. But I'm gonna check the other side too. Okay, so I've got the air filter off. I pulled the battery out as well. And what I do is I just throw a tube, a little hose I have kicking around in there, and listen to it. And you can hear it. I don't know if it's picking it up, but you can hear it. It's pretty loud. I can feel it too. Hold on. Yeah, so both sides are leaking. So I'm gonna be doing both sides. Again, this is the 8th time I'm doing dummy plugs and standpipes. Not on this truck, but overall. So hopefully this goes smooth, because I don't want to do it again. All right, valve cover's off. Let's see where she's leaking. Plug this guy in. Actually, dang it. Go through here, actually. Okay, we're diving back into this truck. This is the project truck. I've done dummy plug standpipes. It's got the FTC fitting upgrade, everything. Still has a long crank, no start when hot, but it starts just fine any other time. I already have the valve cover pulled off on the passenger side. There's a massive air leak. Looks like it's coming from the injector area. This one I know has a leak as well because I listened to it, so I'm just pulling all this stuff off now, getting it ready. We probably are going to pull the rails off of the heads and reseal the injectors, but I'm just pulling it off now to get it ready for a full air test, and then we'll go from there. We got ourselves some new nipple cups for these guys. They look about the same, but anyways, yeah, these are brand new from BC Diesel. Cost me about $208 Canadian, sorry. And it does come with O-rings and the tool, which is right there, to set these in place properly. Okay, new nipple cups are installed. They're all torqued down to 150 foot-pounds. I didn't record it, but my dad did. You guys can see an in-depth video on that on his channel if you want to check that out.
I can send you a clip with that too.
Anyways, yeah, all done. Now we're just gonna put this back on and bolt it down and do a pressure check and see if we stop early.
So why did we do this?
We did this because we had leaks. Possibly. And
okay, so we figured that, you know, the standpipes and the dummy plugs was good.
Yep.
We figured that it's deeper down the problem. We pulled these guys out. This was very easily was moving around. But not only that, we also have a lot of damage, as you can see it there, you know, on the yeah, where the O-ring sits, you know.
There's some wear there for sure.
Yeah, you know, and then it was wise for us to put this back in to see how tight the O-rings are in the injectors, and that looks pretty decent. So we decided to go this step first before we pull anything out. Put this back in. We have the air already hooked up there. We're gonna pressurize it, see if this side stops the leaks. If the leak stops, we move to the next one. If it doesn't, then we take this guy back out and we remove the injectors, and we have to do the O-rings on top of that. But fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
You know, and we'll see how it goes, and you guys gonna find
out soon enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, the rail's back on. I've put all of the bolts back in all by hand and ran them out all by hand, and now I'm just looking at the torque procedure, and I'm gonna torque these up, and then we'll put the dummy plugs and standpipes back in, the ICP, and we'll do another pressure check to see if it's still leaking from this side, but I'm really hoping we got her this time. Well, looks like we're pulling this guy back off because they're still leaking at the injectors. So we're gonna go to BC Diesel and get an injector reseal kit. Luckily they're cheap, they're only like 60 bucks. And it comes with all the O-rings and a copper gasket and all of it. So we'll go grab that and we'll pull this guy back out and try again. So my reseal kit came in for my injectors, and this kit has the let me turn the light on here. Not available. Anyway, it has the retaining clips and the O-rings for inside the ejector on the top. So we're right back. The rail's back off. Pulled the alternator off. All the wires are kind of pulled out of the way. Now we're going to pop the injector connectors out and get these guys out and resealed. He still can't put the tools down.
Yeah, I know, that's what somebody said. Hey, Lauren, you said you are retired.
Yeah.
I'm helping my son, so
Yeah.
it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a customer's vehicle, it's family vehicle.
Yes. The seal doesn't look bad, but it's all dried and it's, you see, it's just not sealing enough because it's all shrinked. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There is just not enough, so obviously 4000 psi just goes blow by. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull out the seal, and there is a couple of ways. I don't know if you guys see it or not, but there is a couple of ways you can do it. Let me maybe just put it for you. Okay, you can just pull the seal out and try to put the new seal in without taking the retaining clip, but might as well take the retaining clip and put everything nicely, because you don't want to do any damage with the pick when you try to push it in the new one, you know. So let's just do it that way.
Just torquing up the injectors now.
We are just torquing the injectors down. Well, we already torqued them, but I just wanna show you guys the first one here, and we did them to 30 foot-pounds. There you go. So that's all it took on this side. Now this one, it's completely sealed, pretty much everything. So we did the injectors and all that good stuff. Now he's just gonna put back the high pressure oil rail, torque all those down, and then we are done.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. We have an update on Macbeth is her name. This is what the truck's name is. It was actually on the insurance paper envelope. That, yeah. So as you guys saw in previous videos, we did the dummy plugs, standpipes, and then resealed the injectors and the high pressure rail, and we put it all back together and we air tested it, and we had a little leak, but we chalked it up to, hey, there's no oil in it, so let's fire it up and see what it does. I got it running. I was gonna go for a drive, and I was seeing I saw my IPR percentage at 87%, and I said, nope, I'm turning around. So I came back to the shop, We did an air test on it again, and it was leaking. I pulled the valve cover off. This number 1 injector was leaking. So we pulled it off, and I'll show you guys what we found. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's see if I can get it.
So here is, but
There's a crack right
there is
there.
a
It
visible
goes all
crack.
the way up. I
There
don't
is a
know. I'm
visible
trying to get it
crack.
the best I can for you guys right there, but you can see it clear,
I
pretty.
can see it
yeah,
right there.
right there. And then if
Yeah.
you look up, straight up through the casting, you can see it all the way up. So once oil gets past that, it starts leaking,
Yeah.
and you can see it's been leaking there. Like, look at the discoloration too.
Yeah.
So
Right there.
there it is. So there you go. Been chasing my tail on this one for a while,
So yeah, that's why.
but we got her sorted out, replacing this 1 injector, and we'll go from there. Well, I need to pull this injector harness, or sorry, not the injector harness, the glow plug harness, because I'm getting number 5 is not very good. So I have a new harness, but I used the tool and it broke. But luckily I have my valve cover off, and I saw that you can actually get to these in here with a pick. You get it from the back and just push up while you're pulling on it. And so I'm gonna try that. Hopefully it doesn't break, because I need to get these out. So I'll try that, and I'll let you guys know how that worked for me. Okay, well that actually worked pretty good for me. I was able to get it out. Look at that. So sweet. So what I used is I used this pick, and I pulled on this very slightly, not to rip it out, and then I just used this pick and kind of pushed up on it and forced it out. It was nice and gentle. So now I have the tool. I do have the tool, so I'm going to use the tool and do the same for the rest of them, and then I'm going to change glow plug number 5, and then I'll put the new harness back on, and I'm still waiting on the injector, the cracked injector here, so we'll get this thing back up soon. Okay, I got the harness off. So my best friend was this guy, 90. Even with the injectors on, you just kind of slide it down along until you feel it past the groove, and then just gotta work it out. Be gentle. Okay, a new glow plug harness is back in. I did replace number 5. It was actually slightly loose, which is kind of odd, but anyways, it's all back in, so we should not have any check engine lights now for anything in here. New injector is in, torqued to 36 foot-pounds is what these remand ones are called for. And yes, it's a remand one, but I needed one right away, and this is the only thing I could find, and it was really close to me. So that's in. The glow plug harness is in. Glow plug number 5 has been replaced. It was a little loose, kind of strange, but anyways. Okay, now we got to get the fuel rail back on, dummy plug standpipes, and get it all back together and start up and see if we're golden. Okay, rails back on, all torqued down in accordance to the procedure of Ford. So now dummy plug standpipes, and it's running. So I'm gonna let it warm up, and we'll see what happens when it's hot, and if I put it off and turn it back on again. It's running pretty good. Temperature's coming up, but we'll let it sit a little while longer.